Good morning. Good morning, everyone from Sydney, Australia. My name is Bridget Fuliaki Davis, joining you in the podcast studio this morning with a great little topic I think that we need to talk about today. And that topic is all about beverages. Because often what I've found is that people tend to think of healthy or health giving products as being food alone. And I don't think, and this is based on the data that I've seen and the research that I've seen, I don't think we put enough emphasis on the importance of getting our beverages right, getting what we drink right as well. So I thought I would kick off Friday morning. It is Friday morning here in Sydney, Australia. It is, my goodness, it is December the 13th. Oh gosh, it's Friday the 13th. Yeah, love it. And good morning to Sharon, good morning to Stephanie, and good morning to Ruth as well. It's Friday the 13th. Fun fact, my parents' anniversary. Had they still been married, Mum, if you're watching, happy non-anniversary. I don't know how many years it would have been, but many years, right? What would have been like 55 years today, but yes, it would have been my parents. I always remember the 13th of December because I love December. It's my birthday, it's Christmas, it's New Year's. It's a good opportunity to have a good time, right? But I also remember it was my parents' wedding anniversary as well. So I am still, my parents are amazing. They're still really good friends. They hang out. In fact, I've got both parents coming to us for Christmas, New Year, and my birthday. So it's completely okay. It is wonderful. They're amazing humans. So yes, happy non-anniversary to my parents today. It is in fact Friday the 13th, which is, we are one day closer to Christmas. We are one day closer. We are one day closer to having family come and spend some time with us, and we couldn't be happier. Yes, we are busy, but we couldn't be happier. So what a great moment. Yeah, Sharon's like, yay. I agree, Sharon, right? I totally agree with you. Friday the 13th. I don't fear Friday the 13th, even though I grew up with the Friday the 13th movie series. Like that was like peak 80s horror flicks, right? Friday the 13th. I can't remember who was in it. Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street. That was another one, eh? Oh, geez, look at me. Didn't watch horrors as a kid. I don't even watch them as an adult. But it was peak movie going, fun back in the 80s was all the horrors that were coming out. So yeah, Friday the 13th to me just means it's another amazing day that we get to live this amazing life and look at the opportunities and the possibilities that we all have in front of us. So I am in the test kitchen today, believe it or not. I just thought I would start today and sit down with you guys, drink my morning coffee, answer a few emails, get into a little bit of online work, because once I hit that kitchen later this morning, that is me for the day. I will be in there the entire day because we've got, a boost camp starting in January. I'm currently recipe testing for that. We're also doing cooking classes. So my Christmas cooking classes are being drip fed out to you guys at the moment. Last night I did the pork roast. So the ultimate pork crackling. Did you guys see that cooking class? Did anyone see that? Oh, thank you to Linda telling me I look fantastic today. Thanks, Linda. I did take a bit more time with my makeup this morning, if you can see. I've got a big day planned. I wanted to look good for you guys this morning. So thank you to Linda, and good morning to Tracy as well. I can see the beautiful Mindy is joining us, Daphne as well, Ruth, good morning, Claudia, good morning, Vicky. And of course, I can also see the gorgeous LJ is joining us this morning too. So nice to see you ladies on. And if there's any gentlemen who are just watching and not saying anything, hi guys. And good morning to Josephine as well. So the cooking class videos, the Christmas cooking videos, I released episode 6 last night, right? And tonight we're releasing episode 7. So so far we've done ginger dough cookies, we've done my pork. So how to nail a pork roast. And it actually is a lot easier than you think. So if you want to find any of my videos, all you've got to do is go onto Facebook, anywhere on Facebook, and there's like a search bar in your Facebook, whether you're on your phone or whether you're on your laptop or your tablet. And into that search bar, you can put hashtag Bridget's Christmas special, all one word. All the videos that I've done so far will come up for you guys, so you can watch the cooking classes. And the pork roast is, the crackling is just phenomenal. Let me tell you how good it is. It's just like, it's really, 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 really good and really easy to achieve. And once you know how to do it, you're going to nail pork roast every single time you do it. And people are just going to think, they're going to write songs about you. They're going to write poems about you and your pork roast. And you don't have to tell them where you got the tips from. Just go and do it and make it your own. So we did that last night. Tonight's cooking class is my sugar-free pavlova recipe that I turn into a pavlova platter. So teaching you guys and showing you guys all the wonderful ways that we can serve sugar-free desserts this Christmas. And I am particularly fond of the platter because it's such a nice way for guests to be a bit more interactive with what's happening rather than having a plate of food put in front of them. They actually get to decide whether they want to have different bits and pieces on their individual personalized pavlova, which I think is just so brilliant. So that is tonight's cooking class. And what is tomorrow's? Not sure yet. Not sure. If you've got any ideas of what you'd like to see me do. Now, this will be potentially the last cooking show before we head off. We're off to New York on Sunday. And I won't be able to do any cooking classes, obviously, while I'm staying in hotels. So I think we'll release the last one tomorrow, which is Saturday, and we'll have a couple of days off. And then when we come back from New York, I will complete and do some more. I'm thinking when I come back from New York, I want to teach you guys how to make the 75-minute turkey. So it's like a big turkey, but it takes 75 minutes. We'll do that when we get back from New York. I also want to do a ham on the bone with a healthy sugar-free glaze as well. Oh, I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm doing trifle. So you guys get to see how to make a really quick, really simple trifle. That is happening tomorrow in our live cooking classes. But yeah, when I get back from New York, we'll do ham, we'll do the proteins, we'll do turkey, and I think we're going to finish it off, because I believe that's 12 cooking classes. We're going to finish it off with the best, the most amazing, the incredible, I'm salivating thinking about it, the ultimate potato salad. And I'm going to be discussing with you how you can eat potatoes and make sure they're as healthy as possible. I know it is possible. It is possible. Josephine saying maybe ginger ale. That's a great idea, Josephine. What I might do for you, my love, is I might actually do, you know how I'm doing these lives with you guys? I'll actually do it as part of the live because it's really easy to do. So if you bear with me, maybe in the next couple of days, maybe even tomorrow, I'll do a live with you guys and I'll show you how to make ginger ale because it's really, really easy to make. It's really simple. So yeah, I'll definitely include that. Because you asked, I shall provide, because I love ginger ale. And it is such a nice, and we're talking beverages today, right? So it's the perfect little segue. Thank you, Josephine. The perfect little segue into today's topic, which is the top 5 most unhealthy beverages that people regularly consume. And by the way, I'm not talking alcohol in those top 5, believe it or not. Like, that's usually the one that people go, oh, it's alcohol because it's the most obvious. It's more about the beverages that are less obvious, the ones that kind of sneak into our everyday, consumption of liquids that we may not even realize is happening. So the top 5 most unhealthiest, yes, alcohol is not mentioned. But the reason why I'm doing the top 5 most unhealthiest beverages is because when we look at nutritional lifestyle, right, that we are maintaining good nutrition, we tend to, and this is no fault of our own, this is just how society works, we tend to think of that as being the foods that we eat. We don't often associate it with there being a beverage element to this as well, but there is a extremely strong beverage element. In fact, when it comes to weight gain and type 2 diabetes and fatty liver disease and kidney issues and, just carrying more weight and more inflammation than your body needs, the types of beverages that are really consumed plays a huge part in this conversation. Huge part. When we look at the data in terms of weight gain throughout, throughout different countries around the world. So obviously Australia and New Zealand, kind of lump them together. Don't know how Kiwis feel about that, but hey, I'm a Kiwi living in Australia, so I'm lumping, like it or not, I am lumping. Home is still home though. Don't get me wrong, home is still home. But Australia and New Zealand, we tend to be similar in many things and very different in other things. But when it comes to nutrition and diet, we are fairly close in terms of what's happening, with the data and the research. But of course, I'm also talking about North America, so Canada and the US. I'm talking about big parts of Europe and also the UK, parts of Asia as well. And Asia is kind of like the surprising bolter in terms of where health is going, the trends and where health is going. Asia is not faring that well. And big parts of Asia are actually experiencing some of the greatest increases of metabolic conditions. So basically health and, disease and illness caused by a poor diet. Asia is seeing some of the largest growth patterns happening. But I also want to mention South America as well. So for example, Mexico is really, we've known for a long time that there is some pretty worrying trends happening in South America as well as North and throughout the world. Basically anywhere where processed food is the norm, we're seeing worrying trends of people dying prematurely, of people suffering through disease and illness. And you've just got to look at the rates of people going into hospital with illnesses that are completely avoidable. So we're not talking about genetic conditions, of course. We are talking about conditions brought on by our lifestyle. And often what it comes down to is there is a gap in our knowledge when it comes to how our bodies work, what our bodies need, and what we are being offered out there in public. So when it comes to beverages, they are problematic. And to think they're not is to I think to discount a very important area, because we now know that the number one most unhealthy beverage that people regularly consume is soda, soft drink, fizzy pop, whatever you want to call it. Whether that's regular, so as in, the stuff that we grew up with before there was ever a diet soda industry, but sodas are problematic. Sodas are more consumed on the planet than water. So we are consuming sweetened beverages. And let's just start with the regular stuff first before I start talking about the artificially sweetened sodas. But when it comes to the regularly sweetened soda, so the big names, Pepsi, Coke, right? Sprite, they're all from the same company. Well, not Pepsi, but obviously not, but Coke, Sprite, Fanta, etc., etc. So fizzy drinks, sodas, pop, soft drinks, whatever it is, are the most problematic beverage that's regularly consumed on the planet. And in fact, when it comes to the rise of type 2 diabetes especially, there's almost a side-by-side comparison. As type 2 diabetes goes up, so does soda consumption go up at the same time. And of course, you're seeing it everywhere you look. It's in every supermarket, it's in every gas station. It's in vending machines everywhere you look. It's in schools. It's in hospitals. And one of the things that really terrifies me is that you go to a place to eat and they obviously all do sugary sodas as well. And you're not just getting a little cup of it, especially if you're dining out in other parts of the world. You're getting big size portions. In America, they have something called the big gulp. Not sure how many how many mils is in that. I'm going to find out. Let me just Google that. Big gulp. It's literally its name. It's the size of a certain cup size in America. Big Gulp. I can't spell without my glasses. Size in mils. Let's have a look. Hey, so this is a 7-Eleven. This is, oh my goodness me. Wow. So there's actually two Big Gulps. There's the original Big Gulp, which was 940 mils of soda. It's a litre of soda. But they've actually got a even larger one, which comes in at 1.9 litres. 1.2 litres of soda in a cup, in a cup. So yeah, it's gotten bigger. So, you know, not only are we consuming these sweetened beverages at alarming rates, we also have something known as the Big Gulp. Right? Wow! And it's just under a litre, 940 mils, or it's just under 2 litres, 1.9 litres of sweetened soft drink. And when it comes to soft drinks, just your normal, you know, run-of-the-mill garden variety Coca-Cola, a regular soft drink or soda contains, you know, and I'm talking in a normal serve, not in a big gulp. I'm talking in a normal serve, like a normal cup size, which would be less than half a litre. You're looking at, you know, 40 to 50 grams of sugar in one tiny little cup. So imagine the grams of sugar when we're talking about something as ridiculous as 1.9 litres of soda that is served into a cup at the gas station, right? At the convenience store, because 7-Eleven is not just a gas station. In a lot of parts of the world, especially in parts of Asia, it is the convenience store where people go in to buy convenience products, including these gigantic sodas. So yes, we know that soda, soft drinks, regular, normal, hasn't had anything done to it apart from a chemical, you know what storm it is. But what about the diet sodas? So as we know, diet sodas contain artificial sweeteners. And it's these artificial sweeteners that are linked to increased risks of stroke. Yes, stroke. If you are a diet soda drinker because you think you're saving on calories, you are massively increasing your risk of a stroke, of dementia, and of heart disease, cardiovascular disease, with your diet soda regular consumption. So because the artificial sweeteners that go into these diet sodas are so incredibly sweet, they're like 1 million times sweeter than sugar. Yes, you don't need much in order to sweeten a beverage. That's why it doesn't affect the calories. But what it does affect is your risk of dementia, your risk of stroke, your risk of heart attacks. And of course, there's also the fact that those artificial sodas absolutely destroy your healthy gut bacteria. So your gut bacteria and artificial sweeteners are like a collision. And guess what wins? Not your healthy gut bacteria, it's the artificial sweeteners, because they are so artificial, the body does not recognize them as food, because they're not. And in fact, artificial sweeteners are a byproduct of the petroleum industry. So when they're making petrol, they had a byproduct and they needed to do something with it. And the scientist was like, oh, you know what? Let's see if we can turn it into food. And they did. And now they sell it to us in drinks that we can buy in the convenience store, in the supermarket, in the gas station, at the pub, at the restaurant, everywhere. At the hospital, at schools. Scary, right? So number one, soda, regular or artificial. And here's the clincher when it comes to artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners disrupt the body's ability to send the right hormones from your gut to your brain to say, I am full now. So that signaling hormone, which is really important because that's what regulates our appetite. This hormone is what is responsible for us not over consuming when we sit down to a meal and we go, oh, I'm full now, I can stop eating. Well, that signaling is disrupted by artificial sweeteners. So you're at a massive risk of over consuming food when you add a diet soft drink onto your meal. In fact, the research is telling us that you will over consume food by up to 30%. So you will eat 1/3 more when you're having a diet soda attached to your meal than if you were not having a diet soda, because that signaling is disrupted. It is shocking, right? Absolutely shocking. So, yeah, what do I drink every day? As you guys know, I drink water. Well, I'm starting my day with a black coffee, but I drink water. Yeah. And someone just asked, is there any issues with carbonation? No, it's just bubbles. Don't worry about it. Just drink it. It's absolutely like, I know some people are like, oh my God, you can't drink carbonated water. I'm like, really? Are we going to go there? Some of the healthiest countries in the world, guess what they drink? Mineral water, which is sparkling water. Like you go throughout parts of, different parts of Europe, especially. They drink a lot of carbon. It's just bubbles that have been added. It's just carbonation. The water is the same. Like I said, I know there's been people banging on that it's really bad for you. Oh my gosh, I just want to just drink the water. Whether you're going to add bubbles or not, do not overthink it. Just drink the water. So number one is soda, most unhealthiest. Number two, pretty obvious, but let's talk about it as well. Fruit juices. So fruit juices, as we know, are basically just concentrated sugar. And despite it kind of appearing really, really healthy, a fruit juice contains amazingly high amounts of sugar, because we're essentially concentrating down. Like in a glass of orange juice, for example, there may be the equivalent of 5 to 6 oranges to make one glass of juice. So that is 5 to 6 portions of naturally occurring sugar. So in a glass of juice, a normal glass of juice, you can get 40 to 50 grams of sugar in one glass of juice. To put that into perspective, that's about 10 teaspoons of sugar in one glass of juice. The other thing that makes fruit juice not as healthy as actually eating the whole fruit is that there is no fiber. The fiber has been separated during the processing period. All you're getting is the liquid and the concentrated sugar. You're not getting the whole fruit. So this will lead to rapid sugar absorption. Like the sugar will be rapidly absorbed into your bloodstream, and you'll go on a sugar high because there's no fiber there to slow down that sugar absorption. And of course, things like fruit juice and soda and even diet soda, all of this can contribute to weight gain. And also there's a massive increased risk of type 2 diabetes because you're constantly spiking your blood sugar. So that's number two, and that is fruit juice. Number three, energy drinks. Again, we're talking about them either being high in sugar and high in caffeine, or they're sugar-free and they're artificially flavored, right? So you're getting a double whammy there. And again, if you're having a regular Red Bull or a regular V or a Mother, whatever they're called these days, you're looking at over 50 grams of sugar in one serve, and the serves are not big. The serves tend to be like 250. I know the Mothers are quite large, but it's not a huge serve for some of these energy drinks. And you're looking at over 50 grams or 10 teaspoons of sugar. 10 teaspoons of sugar in one drink. And then, of course, you go, oh, but I'm having the diet version. Well, you're still getting all that caffeine going straight into you, right? And it's not even a natural form of caffeine that's added, unlike my coffee, which is coffee beans that have been roasted, and then water was, dripped over it to make my lovely black coffee. So you're getting, as well as that, you're also getting all of the additives that they put into these energy drinks. There's usually flavorings, there's usually colorings, and these things do not tend to be at all good for our bodies as well. So be very careful of energy drinks. That's number three. Now, number four, this is not one that we have often, but I think I can kind of pull it all together. So sweetened tea or iced coffee drinks can be quite problematic. If it's just ice and black coffee, fantastic. But an iced coffee tends to have other things added to it again. And those other things tend to be sugar. So be very careful of sweetened teas, like basically sweet tea or iced tea and iced coffee. Again, regularly consumed, but not at all good for our body as well. We're talking 50 plus grams of sugar per serve. And these sweetened beverages, not only do we increase the risk of chronic disease and conditions like type 2 diabetes and fatty liver disease and heart disease, but we're also talking about weight gain, obesity, and even one that we haven't discussed, but I'm going to throw it out to you guys to know that it's just a lot bigger than just having an iced coffee on your way to work or drinking a Arizona green tea, which is just basically sweetened tea. we're also talking about dental issues as well. So cavities when it comes to these types of beverages. So that's number 4. And number 5, and this would make sense to many people. And I'm talking about flavored, sweetened coffee varieties. Like I am particularly thinking about the rise of the mocha frappuccinos. So the Starbucks version of a coffee, which is far from a coffee. It's actually just there's a bit of coffee liquid with lots of other liquids in there, like liquid. Have you seen Starbucks make like their frappuccinos or whatever it might be that they're making, their sweetened coffees? They pump liquid sugar, a syrup, into the coffee as they're adding the creams and the flavorings and everything else that they add to it. So these flavored coffee drinks are so incredibly loaded with sugar, often liquid sugar, which is even worse than refined sugar because it literally just becomes a sugar. It's basically like injecting sugar into your veins. That's what liquid sugar is. They're full of artificial flavors. They're full of artificial colors, preservatives. Like basically they are just artificial. The coffee component virtually does not exist when we're talking about these flavored coffee drinks, right? There is so much sugar in these flavored coffees that our kids are loving from Starbucks and different types of cafes. There's more sugar in the flavored coffee drinks than there is in a bar of chocolate, in a candy bar, in a dessert. And this is massively contributing to weight gain and health issues because a lot of times these drinks are consumed daily, not consumed every other day. This is consumed on the way to school. This is consumed on the way to uni. This is consumed on the way to work. This is consumed during work. They're having meetings in these establishments. They're buying pre-made, cans of flavored coffee in the gas station and the supermarket. It is problematic. And that's why it rounds off my top 5 list today. Be careful. Imagine the money you'll save. Imagine the money you save because they're not cheap, are they? Going to Starbucks and getting one of their so-called fancy coffees, they are not cheap at all. Not cheap at all. Look, I'm more than happy to keep on drinking. It's a bit cold now, that's all right. Keep on drinking away on my black coffee. I've got my water here. I'm on liter number 2 already. I've had my electrolyte drink. I'm feeling pretty good. And I have to say that none of those things on my top 5 list passes these lips. They just don't. They're just not something I want to fill my body with. It's just, I just don't do it. And, we can all definitely, be better off if we're not doing it too. And we're not also, recommending or treating other people with these foods as well. So have a wonderful day today. Whatever it is you're doing, be well and be safe. I might see you in the kitchen later on just for a very quick cooking class, but definitely 6 o'clock tonight. Come watch online. It's Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'll be releasing my pavlova special Christmas platter cooking class for you guys tonight. Until then, be well. See you guys soon. Have a fabulous day. Bye, everyone.